A proportion is two ratios that are equal to each other. So it's going to look something like this. You're going to have one fraction over here, let's say it's 2 out of 3, is going to be equal to something like 6 out of 9. Typically, you're going to have a variable in place of one of the numbers. So you could have 2 out of 3 equals 6 out of x. That is a proportion. Now, each one of these proportions is made up of two different ratios, right? A ratio can be written as a fraction, which is what we want. You may also see it as 2:3, or 2 to 3, or 2 out of 3. No matter what ratio they give us, we want to convert it to a fraction, and it's very easy. The first number simply goes on top as the numerator, and the second number is the denominator. So, how do we identify that a question on the SHSAT is a proportion topic? Well, what you want to ask yourself is, are they comparing two different ratios? If that's the case, 99% of the time, you're going to have to do a proportion. The keywords for proportions are for every, and then it might also say if something, then how many something else. So, for example, there are 8 cows for every 12 hens, right? Or if there are 8 cows, then how many hens would there be? Let's take a look at our plan. So, looking at the question, if there are 2 cows for every 3 hens, then how many hens would there be if there are 10 cows? Well, what I like to do is make a simple table like this, 3 by 2. Right? The first word they give us is cows, and the second is hens. So let's put cows on top and hens on the bottom, just to keep everything straight and organized. So there's 2 cows and 3 hens. So how many hens would there be if there were 10 cows? They tell us there's 10 cows, so our variable is going to be down here with the hens. That is our strategy, that's our plan, because now we can simply turn this into a proportion. Let's check it out. Our first fraction is 2 out of 3, and then we have equals 10 over x. You take it straight from the table. Okay? The next step is we cross multiply. So we're going to multiply 2 times x, and we will get 2x. That's going to equal, again, we'll cross multiply the other way now, 10 times 3. And 10 times 3 is 30. So we simply have to solve this problem now, or this equation. So we solve this by dividing by 2. So on the left side of the equal sign, we simply have x now, because the 2's cancel out. And 30 divided by 2 is 15. So we are going to have 15. 15 what? I don't remember. Let's take a look at the chart. Well, the x is with the hens. So this is going to be 15 hens. I hope that made sense. Let's go ahead and try a practice problem. In this practice problem, a baker uses 6 grams of salt for every 40 grams of flour to bake a cake. So, if the baker uses 280 grams of flour, then how many grams of salt will the baker use? What I'd like you to do is go ahead, hit pause, and try this problem on your own. Go ahead and do that now. Welcome back. I'm going to give you our answer in 3, 2, and 1. Your answer is 42 grams of salt. All right, if you got that right, fantastic. You can go ahead and move on to the worksheet and the quiz that follows. If you got it wrong, let me show you how to do it. So we're going to start by figuring out the topic. We already know it's proportion, but you can see it says if and then, and it also says for every. Huge hints that we are going to be doing a proportion. So let's go ahead and set up that proportion in a chart. So again, we're going to do 2 by 3 every time. So we have what? Salt. And we have what? Salt and flour. All right, how much salt? We have 6 grams of salt and 40 grams of flour. It says if we have 280 grams of flour, then how much salt? So salt is going to be X. Now that we have our plan, we can simply set up a proportion. We have 6 out of 40 equals x out of 280. So what we do is we multiply 280 times 6, which is going to give us 1,680 is going to be equal to the other side, which is 40x. Now we simply divide. 1680 divided by 40. 40 can go into, let's see, 168 4 times is going to be 160. Subtract and you get 8. Bring down the 0. We know that 40 goes into 80 twice. So our answer again is 42. Good luck on the practice sheet and the quiz.